The campaign for the 2023 elections is upon us, and politicians and their supporters are already heightening the tempo. In the light of this, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the Christian Association of Nigeria, TAN, the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar, and the Secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, have warned political parties against violence during the elections. The chairman of INEC, Mahmoud Yakub, told politicians to avoid abusive and slanderous words which could provoke violence during the campaign. Jiri, so far, we hardly see any of these political parties that will come and highlight what they need to do, even as bad as it was in 2015. We know some political parties, they were talking about, oh, we are going to do something about the economy, we are going to do something about insecurity, and we are going to do something about poverty, you know. But when you check the social media, when you check anywhere now, it's all about attacks, and things that will not in any way contribute to the success of the election. That is what we feast on. Even the so-called spokespersons for the campaign, when you see them talking, it is personal attack. I don't know. And there are a lot of issues on ground to be addressed, Jide.
Yes, and it's such a shame that we need people like the Sultan, Abdulsalami Abubakar, to be appealing to politicians to behave in the right way. The culture of attacking one another in the weeks leading to an election in our country has been there for some time. Remember that even the International Court had to single out Nigeria for attention before the 2015 election. Everyone thought that Nigeria will just implode
That's their famous prediction.
as a result of the violence that will come with the election. But thankfully, with the warning from the ICJ, some of our politicians knew they had to behave themselves, because they could be picked up after the election, and they will go and face trial
Some
outside
of them
the country.
will place visa ban on them.
Look at the number of people killed in Kenya just as a result of an election, not this recent one, some years back. And of course, it is the ugly rhetorics from politicians that push their supporters to start killing one another. I've seen some rallies where people, majority of the people are carrying clubs, carrying sticks, especially in northern Nigeria. What's the meaning of that? You know?
Clubs to beat who?
It's just their own way, like a deterrent. It's just like a weapon of deterrent for the opponent to know that, look, I'm armed, so don't make any move to harass me. It's just like countries that have nuclear capability. It's first and foremost for deterrent. When you know that your arch enemy has nuclear capability, you have to behave yourself, because nobody wants to see a nuclear weapon being used. Once India had it, Pakistan, seeing itself as India's #1 rival, decided to go for it. And they got it. Yes, they eventually got it. In fact, they described it as the happiest day, the day they got nuclear capability. Under Musharraf was, or who was the leader then? So I can't remember. You know? So, politicians must conduct themselves in a responsible way. The things that they say are capable of pushing people to violence. Preaching hate, making it difficult for us to unite as a people, is what politicians have done for years. And you ask yourself, what do they gain from this kind of abhorrent behavior? Setting Nigerians against one another, setting religions against one another, just so that you can win an election. I still remember what Goodluck Jonathan said. No matter what we say about Goodluck Jonathan, well, Goodluck Jonathan was such a gentleman. He said, no vote is worth the life of an individual. And he made it clear that he would not want people to be killing one another just for him to win. He made that clear. Since 2011, he made that clear. So our rallies, even this Osun election, remember the NGOs that monitored even the campaigns in the days leading to the election. They said that some rallies were attacked. I mean, some parties attacked the rallies of their opponent. Some were destroying the billboards of their opponent. These are acts that could lead to violence. Why would you destroy the billboard of an opponent? We've got to be tolerant of one another.
Another way is for me to sell my candidates. If I know that, my candidate is the best for Nigeria, just go about marketing your candidates, selling your candidates and everything. You don't need to attack the personality.
Exactly. And when you are selling your candidate, I have a right to buy or not to buy.
Chikina.
Now, if I choose not to buy, it's my choice.
Yes.
You don't need to come. You don't need to attack me.
And you don't have to abuse my candidate.
And I don't have to abuse your candidate. You see, there's a problem we have in this country, and I don't even understand it. So I was listening to someone this morning on Your View. She said, the guest said, if a politician says, go and commit violence, ask, where is your firstborn? Many of these politicians will not use their own children.
They're not here. They're not around.
They are not around. It is other people's children.
None of them will use their children.
Well, some of them.
I said
None.
no.
Okay. None of them will use their children. Those people that are being used to foment violence, they don't think. They are very shallow. And you see people even online. Those ones, so many of them online, if you give them the opportunity, they will also go violent. Many of them have capacity for violence. Why would you abuse me because of my choice? Online. Because I don't believe in your candidate.
Threatening someone that you kill the
child. Why would you do that? The Sultan of Sokoto that spoke was speaking in his capacity as the leader of the Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs. Now, the current president was also there spoke. But we see religious leaders who are using their platforms to spread hate. Yep. I saw the video of one a Port Harcourt-based general overseer. He was just talking nonsense. See, people need to understand that you need to have this live and let live. If I decide to go and vote, if I decide to go and vote for an unknown person, it's not your business because I believe in the person. I have a conscience. If that other man has his preference, I don't need to kill him because of that. I have a friend in UK who told me that she and her husband, they vote for different parties. One is for Conservative, one is for Labour Party. And that's
the way it should be.
Their ceiling is not, their roof is not brought down.
Before now, we know the role ethnicity. Yes, we feel that the ethnicity play in all this. But a dangerous dimension is bringing religion into this mix. And the way we are using it, it's not going to all go well at the end of the day.
No, definitely not. As I've said before, I long for that day when, in choosing our leaders, we won't be bothered about where they've come from or their religion. We will be guided by our desire to see the best rulers.
Exactly.
We've not been lucky with leaders in our country.
At all.
Because when you look at the potential of Nigeria and how Nigerians are doing well in other countries of the world, you go to the US, some of the best brains that you can tap to help you build a nation, they are Nigerians. But we've not been privileged to have the right leaders who can take us to the moon. We've not been privileged. Psycho fans may be wondering what is Jide saying. I'm saying the truth. We've not. The potential that our country has is not matched by the quality of leadership that we've had over the years. This is a fact. It's as apparent as daylight.
If you've had such leaders since 1960,
We will have been
not be
okay.
here.
Okay, look at a country that can't build refinery.
We are waiting for the Aliko Dangote to finish.
The refineries of the 60s is what you are still.
They're still using, and we are still
You can't
pumping
build
money
refinery.
for turnaround.
You can do turnaround refinery. I've seen a time when they were doing turnaround refinery in Kaduna and fire got the facility.
We even shamelessly went to go and we bought stake into the Aliko Dangote.
But if we are not getting
The thing, you see, what the options, a country like Angola had a deal. You do build, operate and transfer.
BOT.
It is one of the best things that you
Private
can
sector
exactly
driven.
do. Government and private sector can work together. Build, operate for some time, and then you transfer. At the end of the day, it becomes your own. You ask yourself, a country like Saudi Arabia, Saudi's Aramco, made $48 billion in 1 quarter from the senseless war that Putin has started. We are not making anything. Leadership is to blame. We should have, given the potential of our country, we should have at least 18 refineries, with 10 of them dedicated to export of
Crude oil and
byproducts. Look at engine oil, for example, lubricants. How many places do you see them do it in our country? One of the biggest oil producers. They can't do engine oil.
Yeah.
They are importing.
Mobi 1 should be now 45,000.
Importing.
Just Mobi
Importing.
1
We are never
service.
tired. So, going back to the point that we are making, because we can't spend the whole day lamenting about the preponderance of misleaders that have been fortunate to rule over you and I. But we know that we ought not to be where we are. We ought not to be where
We
we
have
are.
another opportunity to
We
get
have
it
another
right.
opportunity. And a leader does not necessarily have to be the most brilliant person around. It is the quality of people that he surrounds himself with.
Yes.
That's what makes a leader. Awolowo was not the most brilliant of his generation, but he had some excellent people around him.
Eggheads, like a autopsy. Small boy at that time, everybody.
No, even Ajuluchukwu.
He had good things.
MCK Ajuluchukwu, you know, he didn't care whether you are from the east or not. He used people that he could lay his hands on. Good people. So that is the point that we are making. Politicians are so desperate for power that they don't care about whether they are the manner in which they are jostling for power breaches any moral code or not. They don't care.
All right.
They just want to gain power. And that is the message from the Sultan and these people is behave yourselves. Behave like mature people.
Should not be a season for
Don't be irresponsible. Don't push Nigerians to be killing one another.
brink.
Because it takes one statement by an irresponsible politician to set the country ablaze.
to catch fire.